when you look at their composition, this is exactly what they ran on M80 when we looked at Koala on the Euro. The only difference being in that composition,
I like the Navi comp. If it gets over towards the site and the Deadlock is alive, theory is that you win the afterplant. And on defense, it's just incredible. And they go for something fast, and that is...
First blood. Navi in front on the attack side, orb collected. As KC have gone back to this default style, it's through mid that they'll look to try and funnel the players, but Koala Noob again delivers a bullet to the brain.
Elite did good, man. They needed something. Everyone was just whiffing.
But still
good recovery, good damage from Koala Noob as well.
That door is dropped. You've got to
fastest kill on Ascent. The one over towards B, yeah, might be on threat. Pretty fast.
But both players are already out heaven. Because I mean, there's a mesh set up, so Navi looking to try and take this fight. It's a TP back towards main for Koala. Rooksik finding the kill.
Damn, nicely done on this one. That's a scary stop for K-Corp.
Ends up with both. Another attack side pistol for Navi.
Baby, hello mate, how we doing?
That's now 5 in a row.
Yeah, and not only that, you can
I still need to watch the podcast. People in chat have been talking about it.
On the Euro. That's what you should expect when you're running a composition of agents. But he knows
the Paper game? Ah, dude. The banger.
And even from the double sentinel here, which
such a run, man.
touched on just a little bit, is that we've
seen
they're
allowed 2 deaths,
and go for it, right?
Again, if they can get over towards site and Ninja stays alive, you should to see them win the round.
A little bit of success. Liquid against BBL,
like this from K-Corp, act big over towards A. They got a camera that's going to give them early info before they commit to the site. You've got a knife here as well. You have the smoke, like 3 bits of Uto to make it look like the heavy over towards A, but actually got 4-person.
Something everyone always
waiting
highlights
over towards B.
That KC are running the deep. Oh, wait a minute, Hero, he could get caught here.
I think he'll be alright. Oh.
Honestly, that might even save him a little bit.
Hitting the tag. Swings and roundabouts, mate. They are off to A.
Yeah, they've seen plenty of bodies here. The correct decision is to be as
Spike Dog, he basically interviewed Frost. Honestly, I imagine that is pretty true with what was going down. Definitely interested to hear his side of it.
Anything here would have been good. It's a turned head for Koala Noob, but he'll turn the other cheek. There's no problem.
A little bit of a headache, paracetamol maybe needed as KC take their time coming back into sight.
Okay, who wants to hunt?
And from this
I'm looking at Koala.
With the stat that you saw at the start
at one point he might throw his gun over to Hero and they trade and he hunts. Though Hero is just doing it on his own.
We're talking about another Navi bonus and the potential of it to create a snowball. We know that they had such a strong start to split.
What's the prediction for who wins this series? I mean, I just think Navi have a better comp. But
pick up at least 1 kill
this is something very similar, if not what I would be playing at the moment.
What I was going to say,
I do like the Vice Deadlock as well, but the Cypher actually... Cypher gives you a lot of extra info, which is nice.
Start of the round, right? About how Navi, in terms of the composition they're playing against, will have plenty of opportunity
I think it's just easier to play.
This, right?
The double info, or like triple info, I guess with the camera as well, is just so good.
Sentinel starting to make
it just means you can have better use of your wall.
Find its way in the meta.
Like a Deadlock wall.
Yeah, you're looking at Navi, they should know exactly
what changes the K-Corp need in the stage 2? Not really anything, man. They just need a better read on the meta, is where I'm at, to be honest.
Should be.
It's made his choice.
I just think they had a rough read on the meta. It's
the B spawn barrier.
They're
late.
Well positioned for stage 2.
Yeah, I mean they are.
Fires in. Very committed position, but the Cajun support and dropping the recon behind it. What's in for a little bit more, but all
Harbor on every map. Again, I think that the interview that they actually played before this game. Let's wait for this round first.
It's Martin. Spike dropped.
Okay. The interview. Wait. Okay. The interview he did before this game, he said that like he prefers a format where it's like all the games are closer to each other, and I think honestly with the way that they play their comps. I do think that is a thing, because when you have a week to study their Arbor stuff, I do think there's too many tells of Arbor. So I think he's onto something there. So I think maybe they'll let Eng maybe have more decision on the comps going into stage 2. I'm not sure we'll see as much Arbor unless they buff Arbor.
Like they set themselves up perfectly every time.
Buffing Arbor into stage 2, just put them into champions instantly. That's what I'm saying.
Right? Especially as it feels like if they did buff Arbor, it might be like relatively big. Dude, imagine we just nerfed Teo, it's all going good, and then they just giga buff Arbor. It's like a must pick. Wait, what is? The fire and flames beyond this smoke. Is there support? It comes damn, I mean, at least everyone committed to it on K-Corp. That is one of the fastest rounds I've ever seen. Lost duel short, lost duel middle, lost duel here, and then we got one back. Yeah, Navi were. It's all in the name, buddy. I'm not saying on top of it, but they just won the Angels. I have to say that's a situation where it's like, okay, is that repeatable? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, because Angel, KC have just brought the fight straight to them. The question will be, is there more of the same? Is that something that this defense wants to try? Because when you talk about strat books,
well, that was around.
And Ascent being
it's a weird one.
A healthy meta right
just
now,
a dry dash bomb mid.
Everyone knows what the strats are. You've seen that play.
What do you reckon? The guy over towards short is meant to. Is the KO here, right? Is meant to flash for? Or was the KO bottom of middle?
Not even.
I don't even remember.
Any longer. Sugetsu, is he going to be in this round?
He went too fast. They didn't clock any information.
Martin buys him out there.
Martin was waiting for something, that's for sure.
Trip over towards middle. That's a strong throw on that.
Who is track by track, one step at a time.
Oh, that's all the way in spawn.
NAVI.
This is that Fnatic one they used to do. But I think they copied it from MAT, I want to say.
Couple of missteps.
I think so, yeah.
Now trying to force the issue on B, but the setup is there. KC do well just to trade out an elite buying time from backside.
Hold up.
Shao again.
Sure.
It's top draw.
You're giving yourself a good go at it. With the plant, he gets his ult. Not saying that he wants to use it, but could be tempted.
I mean, you've got Sentinel utility to work with here as well, so Navi in prime position and post.
Oh, they're going for it.
Oh, they're going for it.
Set up hero.
Okay, I don't think it gives you too much, to be honest. Oh, okay, I like that he took space with it, though. Dude, this is doable. 24-23.
Do anything but damage. Can Shao capitalize from it? Sitting inside the smoke, the spike not shown. And as it evaporates from his vision,
unlucky. He had to get a kill when they pop stairs here.
KC effective in the way that they've played off of one another to set up this second.
I've never really seen a good ult on B.
Very similar.
You can't fill all of this up. You're going to be safe here or here. Like, it's only when they're like pushing through a choke.
It should be almost impossible for KC to get back into
they could have played the ult just purely off of his contact and then do it a little bit more deeper on side so that it's risky to actually run in.
Had like a, I mean, he had a camera, but I don't even know what setup he would be able to comfortably sit on the camera.
As we see,
a
million times on the defense. We're expecting.
Yeah, you can't have one guy on the camera and the other guy with an iPad,
it's about how many rounds can you get on the attack, Navi? And I mean, how prepared are KC going to be when push comes to shove? What does the execution look like? Mid is going to be taken by KC.
Dude, K-Corp for sure.
Tempered approach.
Wanted to, game plan wise, make sure they controlled middle early on in these. And it does feel like Navi are loving it.
Sadak in play, sprays away, 2 kills. Elite right behind it.
Should they have waited for Koala here? Probably.
But the support, it's flowing through when needed. Koala was the first player in and looks like the last one out. This is Koala's map though. I think he can do this. I mean, I'm not sure if I follow along.
Yeah, he's already switching to the next guy that's going to swing.
Hey,
it's a good round for K-Corp. Lots of people surviving.
Look as well drilled as they do in situations.
This game so chaotic, it really is.
Not quite reaching those expectations.
It feels like counterintuitive for me to be so focused as a defender on mid when you're playing versus such a strong post-plant comp.
I mean, yeah, I agree. A game plan's a game plan.
I'm not sure what's the idea.
It might be like they might have said something about like a Yoru maybe not being able to insta sight hits, so they think that they won't go for sight hits. But I feel like that theory doesn't work because they have a Teo.
So guess who has 10 assists? Firstly, 10 assists inside 6 rounds.
Like any other comp, I agree. The Yoru kind of struggles a little bit, but against the Teo, I've got like 5 more TP spots I can go to.
Pretty much everyone has at least 3 kills. And like 3 or 4 deaths. KC are just very efficient, very tightly knit, and doing a fantastic job.
NAVI can also have kind of like a passive control in mid as well with the Cypher camera, right? So they don't even need to have any bodies there taking any risks, and they can know about the KC push-outs, and then you just know the sides are weak.
But it might be, that might be why they're doing it as well. They might be going mid to force them to use the camera to spot mid, so then it's harder for them to take B main. If like their main thing is Hero taking B main with Cypher util, like you have to force this camera to go over towards middle. They kind of struggled to take B main a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look how perfect those numbers look right now for KC. It's like the shoal of fish from Finding Nemo. They're all pointing in the direction of another playoff game.
I will find them.
There's still so much work to be done, and any round you let NAVI pick up here just makes that defense even more terrifying.
Speak of camera. When camera saw 2, I don't think it saw the person close, but obviously he's picking up orbs, so it's 3. We got an outlaw that can one-shot everyone at the moment.
I'm told that I look like the Dory voice actor a few times.
They love an outlaw, by the way.
Oh man.
Every single eco round you play versus KC, you should expect the outlaw to be out.
I mean, yeah, that's good though.
You gotta use that. On this eco, and well, Angels open it up.
Not sure you ever want to do that with KO these days. You just get the sound cue as well.
Slipping in between
the right click is just better in those situations now.
Could this be the NAVI eco?
Did that cross? Dude, the recon nearly saved them. Ah man, I think they messed up though. 3 people to get up gun upgrades as well. I think K-Corp, this might be the beginning of the end. There's a lot of rounds against this comp as well.
That was a really big swing.
Dude, why does he not feel comfy just right-clicking that flash? I mean, he probably would have died anyway, but...
I mean, what is happening there? Any
nice
particular
shot.
reason why?
I think there's something about a trap.
There was a hole under your wall. I just went under it and went got killed too.
Even so. Sure how
wait, he threw the wall on short, they thought it was safe, and he went under? That's sick.
More success, NAVI.
Okay, K-Corp, this is interesting. K-Corp went for just a calm arrow. But he didn't go into the normal position to all off of it, so maybe it's just a fake out. I don't know, if it hits someone, he probably goes for it still. What's the money like? We must be getting a little bit low. It's fine for NAVI, maybe 1, but I'm looking at this thinking it's okay. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 that can't buy next. Yeah, strong arms over towards shore.
They're waiting for the utility to come up, and the players send it in.
Yeah, and Aviz is going to be caught.
Dude, the timing of it's kind of nice. This is with the KO nade wrecked them on this. We've got to push over towards B at the same time as they're dodging the Sova ult. And dude, Hero's on top of it. I wonder if he saw him or something. Damn, bro, Hero's incredible. I would love to see his POV here. I wonder what happened at middle.
I mean, could maybe get a very
too many rounds.
But instead broke the
Gotta be too many rounds.
And they know exactly where the Sova is.
Dude, they look nice though, Navi. Like if this KO nade isn't over towards short, they're pretty much bursting as the wall hits down. Like the guy has to react.
Have doubled their advantage coming into a round where they're expected to keep on moving forwards.
Very nice utility at the end.
He's just super on top of it.
Not
even sure if there's some utility to give him a heads up.
Not just from the fact that the players
they're shooting so well as well.
We're waiting for the utility to come up, but the fact that it hit every single
I think they honestly look pretty nice at this map.
You look at what KC bring forward. Aviz with just a hero rifle and Sadak with a bucky.
Angel, surely not. That can't be the way we're doing that one.
That we were talking about earlier. Hero getting 1. Reveal not on the player, but the fake out. Still bucky in hand of Sadak as he sidesteps the shots.
Okay, well, they're going to have to go take some map control. And look at the map control that Martin's got. Does he get caught W King slightly? No.
To the Grand Tour, Martin. Step into the show floor, first kill picked up. Flash through,
nice
two would have been great.
Oh, that's instant, no hesitation. I like this. Little smoke on spawn. Very nice, dudes. Hold it the whole time.
Are very quick on the mark. They expect the site player from the TP,
man, what a round from you.
Can't deal with him in front of the line. Sugetsu was looking for the spike. Where are Navi going? They're going to reroute this just because they don't want to deal with that one defender. Faking mid pressure. Sugetsu's still solo. He just got a chance to
it's a good reposition from him.
He's so far ahead of this.
Dude, the flash bounced weird off of it, and it wrecked them.
And it's just fallen apart for NAVI.
That's so funny. The like top in there is like weird angles where it would just bounce randomly.
No rest for NAVI at all.
It went straight down.
No rest for the Wicked. No
so
rest
annoying.
for Valorant
Things
watchers
in Valorant are so textured. You have those
tiny
edges. But it screws you over so many times.
It's nice for some lineups, but it's rough for others. The Lotus Wall's the worst. The one at Tree.
Sublime.
Yeah.
That one's bad.
Whatever it is
like,
you want to say about this round.
There's also a really bad one at Split.
Took the onus on themselves to go.
Even on Icebox, remember that? Do you remember that molly that hits the like pipeline that's there?
Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Off the timeout.
At Split, it's awful when you go into on A side, like in the city, in the room that goes into spawn.
For me,
throwing anything in there is impossible.
Contingency that they need to have against Navi's ultimates, right? Because these last couple
of rounds,
for the plant
outline, yeah, that one.
What Navi have.
Yeah, it's just Valorant sometimes.
Navi, they have the Armageddon. They have
dude, I think they're in trouble here though.
You're looking at the dimensional drift 2 off for Koala Noob. So if Navi use their ultimates effectively, they'll find themselves in a pretty good position. But these are all if, buts and maybes. And we know that you do absolutes. Exactly. But something I can say for certain though is
there's a deadlock and tail online.
This is a test of it. How much have you put into this Ascent, which we've seen floated as a decider in the last few series for them, where you look at this map for the team in general, it has been okay in the past, but it's 7 successive losses now, all the way back to week 1, stage 1 last year. To come up in playoffs would be everything, but Sugetsu has been spotted.
Hate to see that.
Brooksic knows his tricks too well. That TP won't be catching him off guard anytime soon. I really like that by Navi to make sure that Wine can't be taken by KC. They've also deposited a trap outside of B, just to make sure that we're not going to get the same sort of flank that Martin was able to do last time out. Reposition towards B for Navi on this attack side.
Okay, spots 2.
As you say, the difference is they would have had numbers.
Dude, look at the minimap from K-Corp, by the way. No one budged.
Recon in front of the utility, and they go back to the stack. Hero still here. Neural Theft dropped in. What do they do with this info? I mean, they've only found Decipher, and look at
this is nice though. Yeah, I like it. They baited out the rotate, so they still managed to keep 3 people over towards here. We use Recon over towards B to get info. Yeah, can they get one more between them?
But he's already taken so much damage, it's easy for
Koala to one more. Lovely.
Martin getting one of his
own. He's gone in.
2v2.
Oh, not sure about that.
To be advised.
Not sure about that. Use that smoke to get out of there, play together. Oh boy.
NAVI already at the very least guaranteeing that this half breaks even. And you're still thinking in the back of your mind, what does it look like out of the opening 12? How much more is there left in the tank? Does this double sentinel have legs? And right now, in terms of the rounds as they're being played, just looking for KC to make their move first, because this has been a very proactive version.
He thought he was Zekken. The difference between Zekken is he actually like dropped down. Right, he's not out in the open where he can get shot from everyone. Plus he had a shorty, I think. I'm not sure I had a shorty here.
And they can usually get even better.
Force them down to an eco. They got hero guns too. I mean, they need to end 6-6.
Another B split. Marty.
Already had one go,
wow.
And the next bite of the cherry is just as sweet. Elite following it up. 4v3 situation, and KC offered the reset. Blades up, ready to go. So that rotation is even quicker. The read's perfect. 3 players in short.
3 passing stack.
Walking up and into trouble, into the face of danger.
Big
KC
flash. Okay.
Flash.
Go on, give him one more just so we can have a close map.
In dominant fashion, the support was there, making the right calls mid-round. A little bit of individual brilliance,
but
the team still performing together.
It's not even that, right? I can't wait for it to come back up on the replay. But Martin's split-second decision-making, not to go for the fake-out, but to go for the Euro that was swinging him. And then on top of that, like that, just nice little cherry on top.
He's like, coming from a Euro player, I know which is which. That's second sense.
Yeah. But last round,
Angel.
it many times for the past
Looked like he was blaming him. Looked up.
So many ults. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown at this. Koala's just looking for a target to send that deadlock ult in. Spotted in tower. Martin gets out.
Okay, they get out, but dude, I'm looking at this. I'm not sure you can give him sight here. I'm not sure you can give him sight with this one, guys. You got way too much. You got way too much here. Where's the tail? Yeah, we can't play retake against this comp. We got a bad read on some of this as well. I mean, pistol bonus has to happen.
It's late in the evening and NAVI have their advantage. They lead coming into the final half of play in this EMEA elimination match.
7-on attack is good with this comp for sure. It's a really strong defense comp.
But it's a long way away now.
Red Bull gives you wings.
To be fair, Ascent is not that defense side anymore, but like the comp diff is
with this comp, with the double sentinel, it really is.
For sure.
Just a nightmare.
I'm not coping, I'm literally saying it's a nightmare. I'm just seeing people in chat saying this is the two rounds on attack map, no problem. It's not that bad anymore, but with the comp diff, it's pretty bad.
Saint says, I think any team not doing double sentinel with one of the sentinels being deadlock on Ascent and split 2 is just asking to lose. I think I'm on board with that.
Yeah,
I think it's way too strong. I think deadlock's a must pick on this map, but not solo sentinel. So yeah, I do agree. Dude, I think there might be a couple of maps where deadlock's like a must pick.
I mean, with Teo gone, the double sentinel value is
the supporters
way
higher again. Of course, everyone on EMEA side tuning in to see who carries on in this lower bracket. You could definitely have like 5 the back of a loss to BBL.
Double sentinel.
And now facing up against the KC side, which have already shown they can come back in the second half
you
of
could
matches.
force it in every map, probably.
The last 2
you can definitely force it.
Haven's the most rough, but you've seen NAVI have that, right? Don't NAVI use the same comp pretty much? Similar comp?
The last drops of sand
these deadlock Cypher,
for one of these teams. For the other, a run through the lower bracket is what.
Alright, dude, they got to K-Cop's got to win pistol here.
Yeah,
they've put all of the eggs in one basket. Martin gets the regen armor.
To the French.
Koala, first point of contact in mid. It's player presence.
4 sheriffs. I thought it was triple sheriffs. Saw another 4 sheriffs facing over towards middle. 1 kill trip over towards side. They know it's here because of the drone.
NAVI well aware of what needs to be done.
First kill was the only non-sheriff.
The raid boss is down.
That's the raid boss.
Like just looking for a kill, maybe through a shock or something. As Martin is
Osamui, thanks so much for the prime, man. Appreciate the 32 months.
Getting to site.
TMV's fuming. Yeah, honestly, ever since he did that video saying that you shouldn't buy sheriffs on pistols, it really opened the gateway to just sheriffs winning every pistol. Kind of sick.
Has TMV ever done a video that's like...
Relax yourself. Relax yourself. I saw where that was going, Ali.
I mean, to be fair, didn't you say that earlier on stream?
No, I give him a hit rate of 25%.
Oh no, I didn't mean like he has bad takes only. I meant that like he could complement a little bit more than he does.
That's the
response. That's for sure. Yeah.
Get the reaction they were looking for.
That's the angle I was going for. Not in terms of being right or wrong.
Sheriff at his side and Hero in support from Dice backside. The smoke now drops in the front, looking for the fight. It's Ruxic that has the first. Time is of the essence. There isn't enough of it. Hero still has
man, he's so good. How is he getting the last kill?
Keeps NAVI going in
the only guy with a ghost gets 4 kills.
Massive series, time and time again, coming up with a clutch.
Doing great on this team, though.
Most pivotal half of the
he always has that insanely impactful round. It's normally a 1v3, but sometimes it's something like this.
To be fair, this was basically
I mean, kind of was a 1v3 on site, yeah.
Let's go! Tunnel of smokes to just path his way
to
the planter.
Not the headset again.
Wondering if that hat was going to go flying off Saish's head again, but now KC's still in this, but that pistol does put them at odds of this defense, as we said.
Gotta remember, this year is so important for both sides. Most importantly, this Masters for NAVI because of Koala Noob. He's Canadian, he wants to be in Toronto.
So we said a family reunion on home soil, perhaps just leading the vibes of this team.
They did the wall over the top, lock him in.
On the other side, where are KC's heads at right now? A round like this, it's just got to be picking up balls.
So many little plays.
I do that. They're done. This would have to be the best calling you've ever seen in Valorant for them to win.
To find his 5th ult point, but with the mesh in main on A, it's mid they go, and Koala they head into.
Dude, got good in from that as well too. Spam through the wall on top. Little jump spot to spot the other.
The last two of Martin and Elite try and make something on towards A. Those sonic sensors and sentinel utility to try and get through.
Over there.
The players in place. Just to set this one up, KC looking for any kind of out, but every route they walk into is met with trouble. A player picked up by Martin, but that was one of the pistols. KC need to do a little bit more here if it's to make any kind of damage on what will be
a very nice bonus as well for NAVI.
Bonus that's set up.
And would this be the time to finally win out your bonus? Send you towards double digits. A chasm between the two teams at the minute, which KC need to try and cross through their first buy.
This is basically a buy round, right? Like both teams.
This round is absolutely huge and potentially netting Angel his first ever win over Sadak. In terms of the call for this round, it's going to be grouped up.
Spicy, thanks so much for the raid, dude. Thank you, I appreciate that. You've handed me the raid back.
You can see,
honestly, if you're online again in 3-4 hours,
don't need to fight mid.
I'll send it back your way.
Just
keep going forever. Thank you so much. Congrats on the win also. Big day.
Koala instead decides to TP all the way back.
The infinite loop, yeah.
Mid.
Like this placement of the sensor as well from Angel.
Thank you so much, dude. Thank you.
And with that now broken,
have a good sleep, I imagine, right? I think, time-wise.
Further information towards NAVI as to what exactly is going on in this round.
But see the thing, KC think that that's where the Cypher is, because of the last round, that's Deadlock was on A. They've switched up their sentinels, and KC could be executing into their own doom.
Wall over towards B at 40 seconds. The problem with this wall is, this is what I want to see all the time. Like, this wall is so hard to deal with. You've got to commit. You're in position to eat a grav net and salvos. Like, this wall is the wall that you should be using all the time. You drop it at 40 seconds means you can get a heavier rotate over towards A as well. Heavier stack, even. Nice shot.
Some support, but Martin continues on. his reign of terror.
Dude, I'm not sure you need to go this forward. You got salvos.
Less than 10 seconds once this comes in. Yeah, this is going to
be there's 3 1v1s right now.
Didn't account for Elite. Dead Angel, 2v2 post play, and Navi look to come out the other side the better. Elite from short has to try and fight his way through. Doesn't even get a cam.
Oh boy.
It's just gonna be a defuse.
That's the map, I think.
Dude, Navi have Navi a good full process though.
Yeah. They clearly understand this comp.
And those players
quite well.
standing tall on the A site again.
The placement to make it break was, yeah, I agree, Saint. But they're onto the right idea. Like this is what this is like how you play Deadlock here. Like this was the best example, at least recently that we've seen of this. Just 50-40 seconds. Once you start grouping up to get that info, like that's what you want to do. And sadly for K-Corp, Elite had to commit to break the wall here. Otherwise they get that early info, they stack 3-person over towards the site and you just saw it end in 3 different 1v1s.
Because they are on the edge of elimination. Resuscitation needed by the support staff.
Navi coach knows how to use this comp. Yeah, but they didn't they use solo? Did they always use it with the Cypher, or did they just use solo Deadlock?
I think they had solo Deadlock for a while.
He definitely came up with the like on the B split where you throw the wall over towards spawn. He definitely came up with that, but I think they had solo.
We spoke about how important it is for Navi.
Been cooking with Deadlock for ages. Yeah, he was one of the first to use it on Lotus as well, right? Dude, it should be a good meta for Navi once it gets into double into Deadlock heavy.
They need to get these champions points.
The only Deadlock believer. There's a couple, but yeah, there's not many. The pick rate at Deadlock will go like 3 times. I reckon.
In Ascension, they've been playing
to the next round.
Yogro Cypher Deadlock.
See if what was said.
But then early on,
and the rest enough.
Yoru Cypher Deadlock. Okay, I mean, then they pretty much.
Before has brought on teams out of
bad
situations.
It kind of looks like they've been playing it with the.
Yeah, they pretty much came up with it. They were using it before Deadlock got all the bumps.
Yeah.
A sufficeable answer, I think.
Yeah, the moment they started using Deadlock, they were doing the Euro Cypher Deadlock, I'm pretty sure.
Now he has support behind him. Only Angel here, but getting out of dodge with his own util, and Navi very quickly retaliating.
It's another war where you have to like commit heavy to break it. This is a bit of a masterclass on the Deadlock.
But Koala's ready, so is Shao.
That's when like the ops stop coming into play as well. You have to commit into these angles. You can have ops holding them. Like it's a nightmare. Yeah, gotta hit that shot.
Asking a bit too much. Still, Koala Noob has moved in towards B main. Is KC
weird round at the moment. It looks like they're just trying everything.
To work with. This is just a bait
pressure over towards short.
Navi are so happy to give this space away at the same time.
Yeah, and do they just have full B main control as well?
On either side
like as long as Hero stays alive.
More importantly, Angel and Koala, as you say.
Dude, he's playing nice though.
Now looking at the Canadian. Feels as
timing
if he
on
has
this.
Time to strike beyond
incredible.
The cage. At least one kill, but
reposition from him, incredible.
Goes down.
Dude, they're nice on this map.
And so Navi
they just have such a good macro understanding of this map,
yeah,
and their plays together are very drilled as well.
They're nice.
There's so much control.
Wait, they could do some damage lower bracket. Who do they play after this?
The setups on site.
Yeah,
it's the setups on site.
Loser of which game?
It's also
loser of
the understanding
Fnatic Liquid.
Ooh,
dude, that's going to be a scary game to lose.
They know when they can move into mains. They know when there's a step too far. And I don't think they've necessarily put a foot wrong since they've moved.
It's a shame that they have a couple of weak maps.
We know that because they won every round on this second half.
Because Fnatic, Fnatic and Liquid would both beat them on split, you would imagine.
Win here, it's 12.
Yeah.
And very well, a series taken. That buy won't look great either for KC if they lose this. Very early knife though, important
like,
just to detail
kind of
that Angel has been spotted towards short.
Anywhere you go?
From what KC have collected info already.
Do they have an actual like properly bad map?
Is there a possible way they can see what the setup is? This is something we haven't seen
Maybe
before.
not bad,
Cam
but
contact for a
wait, isn't there Fracture awful?
He is solo in this endeavor.
Oh yeah, it might be. Yeah.
Be one out. The poke and prod
and their
on
Lotus
the A
is not
side.
great. That's right, actually. Yeah.
Has been won out by Navi because they've got the A main space. Elite
That's kind of scary if Fnatic goes down.
Slow in the approach.
Camera contact,
KC
flash swing.
Closer towards the B site. It's a drone to round the corner. It's broken.
Might have missed the timing of it. Oh, just perfect.
Into his own hands, just one.
Yeah, that's all it is going to be. But then
Dude, no way. His movement actually got him a kill here.
Can't
Go on
capitalize.
then. Go on then, hero. Let's see it, mate.
He's been spammed out. They know where he is.
Okay,
because
they're actually taking him down. Wow.
And now we go into
I can't be believing, to be honest, but a round's a round.
Oh no.
But well noted. And now
You'll catch me believing when that's his 13 next to KC.
When Teo's nerf, what changes happen on the Navi comp?
Going to be coming up with the goods here, though.
I mean, you just put a Sova in. That's it.
Slow approach.
Pretty much
all circling back to his position at the start of the round.
You put a Sova in, and then it just becomes the.
And that's how you have to play some of these defaults. I mean,
I think.
I don't think really they've been known for this kind of style in the past. But it's the one that you're forced to play against
Cypher
this
or Vice?
Na'Vi side right now.
Vice, I think. No, they play Cypher. They play Cypher.
Especially when you have to find out where the Sentinel utility is, right?
They don't have to challenge for that space. They win it outright.
Oh no, they don't. They play Vice. Yeah, then the only difference is the. Yeah, you're right.
Round number 6. Still.
I mean, it's still the same full process though.
Close the gap up entirely.
Zontanev with the Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Appreciate the Prime usage.
It was all Na'Vi.
Yeah. I think for KC, they found a way to win outright, but I also feel as if there was some mistakes from Navi there. They had a good read on what they wanted to do. Koala unlucky not to get 2 and get traded out. We will look towards A main in this fight once again.
Angel hit.
Oops.
Pressed this time, but a miss sensor is a very quickly recollected one.
Yeah, no punish on that.
On the offensive, 2 players to come in from short, but there is support from middle. It's Koala Noob just facing by himself, and while Net's going to come in there, the salvos, they arrive in time. No,
hey, they got the dash out of him though.
Right
whoa. That's I mean, are we not wrecked?
The arch.
Okay.
TP into the other side. The spam coming through, but they can't quite find him.
No way. How is my guy not smoking himself off? How is he still W-keying?
But look at Ruxic. He wants
they
to
have so much
just the 1 kill that he picks
That's
up.
incredible.
Na'Vi still putting their foot down. 50 seconds or less. KC need to make a move, and in terms of space taken and utility dealt with, there is not much at all.
This is big.
Ava's just going to rip the ult. It's a hit and hope, so to B they go.
Yeah, but you see that. It takes all the
Sentinel
utility offline.
I mean, this time he doesn't have any space over towards B main, so shouldn't be as easy for him.
Creeping closer to the site, taking their time. Hero to take that first fight onto Elite, and that really opens things up. Util back in. Hero
did good.
Did
good.
2-on-2, but it drops to Angel. This one feeling a lot more likely.
And has the Gravnet. One off his ulti.
Stop the swing from at least one of those players, and it's Sugetsu dead in his tracks. To the corner, he will remain. Peeking back through though, Alice by his side. 7 for KC, they survive.
Money looks a little rough.
7-11 is a really defining scoreline for a comeback. It's one where it's
cannot
totally
believe plays
within
like this, but
distance.
honestly 4v5, you're allowed to, it definitely gets a little looser.
Ultimates there.
But this was like
another time where
the loosest.
Martin just goes flying round the corner, jumping in. But as we do
by round, track by track,
you've got to make those decisions. It is getting pretty stressful.
Break by break.
Yeah, coach getting involved.
Are heading into a timeout of their own. But it's you know, another 60 seconds for KC, which they wouldn't have otherwise. They've already used both timeouts. We're not going to be getting any more unless we go to OT.
And that's it. Boxing gloves off after this. It's going to be bare knuckle, no introduction of the coaches from here on forth. And it's what Sadak was talking about and what he wanted. It's all about who can call on the fly, who's going to be better in these scenarios for however many rounds that we have left in this series. I have to remind everyone of the stakes. Whoever loses this is out.
Not only out, but without a single win in the playoff stage either, which feels so different to at least maybe picking up one win and going up against some
formidable opponents that we still have left in the bracket. Let me reiterate, it's 3 wins to take you to that top 3 from this position. NAVI coming into the next round with plenty of odds. But the one that I'm looking at, and the player I'm looking at still for KC, remains to be Martin. He headed into this series
as well.
second globally for KD.
What do K-Cup want to do on this one? Looks like a set one.
But it's
Oh,
the
dude, they're
space
going
making
fast.
more than anything else, which
Just
is
fast
the biggest
aiming
asset
control.
for KC right now against this NAVI defense.
Playing with the pace, starting off fast, making NAVI sweat. Didn't get much utility out the other side of it. They are going to get the drone to check mid.
I wonder if they wanted to like put pressure on the deadlock side, force the wall out early.
KC's so slow.
I mean, maybe they don't. I mean, they don't know where the deadlock is.
Waiting
But obviously
for some
deadlock was on the other
information,
side.
and
They have no way of knowing.
as this A site has both the sensors and the traps,
They're just trying to
the
default
Cypher,
as much
the
as they
deadlock,
can. They realize they gotta.
they know
They
at
realize
least
they
one
gotta
of
go
them
fast
now
and get as
through
much
the
map
L
control
drone.
as early as possible.
When we've seen KC pressure market before,
Pretty good though.
it's
A
just
main
been a
control,
means to an
nearly
end.
B main
They've
control,
not
all
often
mid.
executed, and you can see with the position here of Sugetsu still hanging
Ball
around
goes
in
into
A main. There's definitely a
fake.
view to take this one back into the stack.
Dude, with this space, are we not walking out? Camera gets spotted. They want to try and get some info. It's gone a little bit quiet. Only saw one over towards short, right?
As I said, just raising that question mark in middle.
Dude, now we got a
But now you're
lurking
heading
jet.
into the utility. It's the Hunter's Fury to try and gut out some of that space in the back. Ruxit gets
Hey,
hit,
that was
and
nice little
Sugetsu
spammer for
follows
this.
it up cleanly. Koala still here.
Oh,
He's
okay.
found his first.
They did good.
Salvo's in. How much time is there? Spike plant has to happen, and it's dice where it'll go.
Might be thinking about Martin still in towards mid. He could play late upset, perhaps a win condition, but the retake, we look at the annihilation from Angel
8-4
to
heaven.
be the big win con here.
I'm not sure about that.
How can Navi flood out? Entrenched in the heavens,
Yeah,
still waiting.
Angel's not sure about
for the
that as well.
smoke to expire.
Like, guys, why are there
It's
4 of
time
us on heaven?
instead. Those final grains dropping to the bottom of the hourglass, and that's where Martin starts to reveal his position. Buys a little more time because, well, I tell you what, KC are going to need it on their side. Hero side to work on the defuse.
Jesus.
And stepping in,
he's
Martin,
last.
maybe a moment
Oh,
too
that's a
late.
good.
all
Oh,
the
whoa,
way
whoa!
through.
Wait, how? I mean, I think he was out of it, but it doesn't matter.
But it's up as far as KC are concerned.
Unless he
What
steps
he
back into it.
He
No
actually
matter
lived
what,
The
the ult
cocoon
had pretty
didn't
much
fully
secured it anyway.
go off, but the
Yeah.
point still stands. Navi have map point, and 5 rounds remains to be the gap.
He lives. Oh yeah, he lives. He lives and keeps the gun.
Yeah.
That's
One
incredible.
round is all
Protected
they
him.
need to put their hand into the next
Yeah, he
round
has the
in
gun.
the lower
That's
bracket
sick.
and survive. Just one match longer for KC. An
Yeah, I mean,
underwhelming finish.
K-Cup just didn't
to
get
the
enough on.
stage one.
Just didn't get enough on defense.
A
As easy
massive
as
round
that.
to try and deal with a set play. Doesn't get the value.
Yeah,
that
I like
they're
this from
looking
Navi as
for.
well. They've been doing their wall
Martin
over
noted
towards
by the
B, 2
Cypher
different
cap.
ones. And
Racing an issue for Navi to deal with.
they,
As soon as they
I
take
think they had a
mid,
cool little passive
Navi
one
are
that went like
dropping back
here
that
and here as well, which you
defensive line
can't commit
into
to unless you go
Boathouse,
out
but
through the
this time
choke.
their support,
Like the
mesh
full
is there,
process
and
through
so's
the
sensor.
deadlock walls probably the best I've seen from a pro team
Still
at the
with
moment.
blades and an updraft.
Like every
He
wall
finds
is like a
himself
heavy
over the
commitment.
top of Switch, but it's only going one way for
That's the
now in
happy
feed.
influence, right? Like,
Shao
they
gets his
pioneered
two.
Yeah, no, he's really got it
He'll
down.
find 2 more.
Yep.
He's got the first. It's a
Like
trade
even
out
this
2 on
wall,
2.
like you can only
Look at
break
how
this
low
wall from like a
Sadak is.
committed
He at
box
least
here
has one
if you're thinking
info
about
dart
actually
to
going
try
over
and know
towards it.
anybody. You'll get
Yep.
the information he needs.
Like
but
it's
how
all
long
about
is he
just
gonna be
making
able to
sure.
survive?
Let's wait for this round
Going
first.
through lane, flash behind it. Sadak just hiding underneath
super
the rail
doable.
right now as the lane walk up comes through from Koala. Elite, the healthy player. We have to depend upon him again. KC, the blue wall could crumble under the pressure of Navi as they're putting it on. Elite has withstood at least that first player, but he has to go big where the rest of his team couldn't. To move on in their stead for KC, stage 1 hopes and dreams.
Very
Elite
nice from
will
Elite. Super calm.
continue where the rest could not. That's number 8.
When we're talking about the
But how many
deadlock
more do
ult,
we need?
like they're making sure
mean,
that
we talk
these
about
areas,
CPR,
like these,
the
they never
resuscitation, that was a
overstep anywhere.
defibrillator.
Right, when you want to break them, you're committed into some kind of hard angle where you can get punished from pretty much any kind of choke. Like, it's so nice. Like, over towards B, you have to be past this line, right? You have to be in this box. Over towards here, you have to be in this box. Over towards short, you have to be in this box. Like, all of them can just be punished from, like, certain angles. Obviously, this one's a crossfire.
They pretty much always get value from the wall, if not by the wall, like the lane people themselves. You always get a peek into the people breaking
yeah, you always, yeah.
It's always dangerous to deal with the wall.
They always, not that they've used it much, but you can use like Judge on this one as well. I think C9 they probably used that the best that I've seen, but the op as well is good on defense with it. You've also got to look at how good Navi are at changing it up. They've been doing this a good amount of time where they place this down, but you don't hear them pick it up. Like, we got a lot going on. The deadlock stuff's really good, man.
It's very, very good.
And it's this stall as well into the
Yeah,
late
you're a good
round,
amount
which
of them
makes
to get
things
that
all
early
the more
rotate.
concerning. Xiao may
Delays
be
enough
even
time
thinking
for the
about
smoke.
using the ult here, just purely based on the
Don't do
positioning
it.
of
Please
these
don't do it.
players.
Don't do it.
Looks like he
You don't have
might
to do
just
it.
send it
Ah, you
in.
did it.
Oh, your wish
but he did.
will not be
The other way.
granted. Navi want to win it here and now. Xiao still on the site with the gun in hand, and those reinforcements just can't arrive soon enough.
Oh.
Shot down where they stand.
That's another tail ult on
KC
the
will
Nico.
have a 9th. We go again
Dude,
without
especially
a
at
Navi ultimate.
8-12.
Question
You
is,
gotta,
big ultimates,
at
the real
8-12, you
deal.
gotta just, that's one of the big ults,
Try not to
man.
give much
Don't
away
need to
here.
force it too much. You guys are eco. It's another one added to the list. It's a whole year of eco
I
ults.
feel like so many times we've seen not just any old run-of-the-mill ultimate, not just your neural theft.
Is there hope? I'm only gonna have hope when I see 13.
Like some
I was gonna say,
really
the
big
only hope is 12-12,
round-defining
mate.
ults are being just thrown into the fire.
Quite literally, mate. Like you're sitting there and you're like, listen, guy. It's like the Mourinho story with the Balotelli one, right? Like, listen, do
Being a
not
Navi fan is
get
so
a yellow
stressful.
card. Do not
I can
use
imagine.
your ultimate. Angel, please do not use your ultimate. And then you come into the next round and they just send it, and you're like, oh goodness gracious.
If you can find a way to pull it off, you look like a genius. But right now, I think Navi on the receiving end more often than not.
But like you speak about, right, I know everyone speaks about like percentage plays and the numbers and let's crunch them, pushing up the glasses as Bren likes to say, but in these moments when it is literally
this is what I wanted to see as well. This
line,
op is going to be so
I think
nice.
the percentage play is what you opt for.
Especially if they kind of combo those two together a little bit. I'll play over towards mid, or he's going to go stairs, his mate's going to watch. Yeah.
True.
Okay. And they're not going to expect the second here, right? To be fair to Martin, he's pretty much on top of that.
Sui has responded. There's still a player advantage with the defense, and they have util to fall back on both sides.
That they do.
Oh, they were
even
probably
the setup
planning
here for Navi.
the KO ult. Really
you look at it, it's Sentinel players on either side of the map, so even if Aves had
what do you do now?
straight in with their ultimate,
yeah, can't get through
they were
chokes,
prepared
no
for
KO
it.
ult to disable the Cypher. It's kinda...
A lot of thought put into this,
Oh,
but
and
now
look
KC
at
are
Navi,
on a plan B.
they swapped where their Sentinels are playing.
Yeah,
compared to
they had
their
anti-KO setup.
Yeah, so this is the anti-KO, yeah, it wouldn't even work. They're actually so good at this map.
Cypher cam for contact. Sonic sensors round about him to
Dude,
create a support
this is like the
network.
best though. When you get to do an anti-KO setup and you got double Sentinel, you got like the best setup ever.
There's a gap in towards tree, and that's exactly where they find to opt to go.
The question is, are they overcooking this a little bit too much? Because, as I say, bunkers on both sides for Navi. Less than 30 seconds in the plays through spawn. Ruxic watching over it, but as soon as that penny drops, there's problems for KC. Elite can at least solve it with a kill for now,
Okay,
but this
here we
is
go,
so
Hero.
chaotic, Cairo.
It is, and look at this, the Omen ultimate used to try and clear out Hero instead. Found by
The Omen cancelled the ult as well.
Number, the Sonic sensor gives the game away, but look at the deposit in mid. Sugetsu could be massive here.
Hearing the steps,
Oh, they're on
on
top of it.
Sugetsu gets the first.
Nice,
And
little
over his
TP
forward
away.
captain, the wall is pulled
here's
over
him
his
on shot.
eyes. Elite was just sweating when that sensor went off, hoping that the spike could go down. And now that KC have it, it's a split.
He went
deck
all the way around
completely.
over towards
One
A
player
main,
made
that's
and one
sick.
back from short.
That's a great reposition.
All of this heard by Elite. Koala straight into
And
the
they might get it
firing
close.
line
It's another eco
as
here.
KC continue.
I mean, that round was like
Well, now
prime
that you said
time
this,
boxing, dancing
I
round one
expected
another.
10-15.
Yeah, eco.
With that being said, I mean, the most important thing for me in the next round is one, has his null command up and available, so they can take and get rid of any Sentinel utility that's possibly needed. But the other aspect to it is Navi's buy. They are stricken once again. So they've read into a double stack on A.
Surely we don't use the ult into the eco though.
Hero and Angel, mid presence made.
Okay, if they did pop the KO right now, we'd absolutely wreck them. Probably want to save it for the big buy. Dude, Martin got dinked. Okay, well there you go. They got the ult out of them.
The null command comes in, but Navi have players in position. They are knocking on that door. There's just a couple players, you know,
Wait, that was not. That's like an icebox round. That is just everyone dead within 1 second.
And once again, we are at the very least guaranteed.
That's an actual
rounds,
blink. He just missed the whole round.
Whoever ends up losing this will feel hard done by. It's got all the way down to the wire and then some.
That's on every single map.
Good luck to observers on that one.
Hey, look at it.
Full regulation,
that's so fast.
1 overtime. I think overtime right here would be just. Both teams have a buy. Both teams have ultimates, which should find value.
I mean, it was 5 chances down to the 1 last chance. They get the op, no armor. Do they want to just go for the B hit?
B main hasn't found value, and Koala finds a little gap to work with.
Running into the same traffic just yet. Kashawa shut it
mate,
down.
there's a smoke here. I don't know how you've done that one.
Focus on B and Angel the one to receive it.
Ow.
Right up against this wall. Sensor by his side. Drone comes in, it gets the info, and that's the reinforcement.
Big kill. Wall to separate them. Omen TP's past it. It's like the only thing they got going. Sugetsu tried to combo. Ah, dude, this is done.
Koala noob in backside, so much support. KC are cornered.
Looks like they are.
You can barely get back past that mesh in main. The setup's over on A. Where do you go?
That's the question Sadak is trying to answer right now is they wait. Let's see if Navi try and dry peek into the rifles, holding the angle.
Dude, they're like, please, someone make a mistake. Please, someone, surely make a mistake.
Just another spanner in the works, playing around his own smoke and looks to take this fight on the chin, closing in. Navi in position!
Nope.
13-11.
Rough one for K-Corp, 7th to 8th.
For them in the lower bracket.
But very nice for Navi. And dude, it's another strong map for Navi. Won't hit as good next time they use it, but still, they look good on the map.
The wait will continue
Looks very drilled.
to return to another global
and
event.
K-Corp, I mean, I just personally I put it down to comps. Really, that's where I view it. But
They brought in
yeah, people view it differently.
To carry the team